And now we're official. Okay. And our first agenda item is the Pledge of Allegiance. So I'm just going to ask Emily, were you going to?
I have a PowerPoint ready, but I'm unable to screen share it.
That's quite all right. So in place of our flag, I'm going to just ask everybody if they would join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice
for all.
We got to get that together now. It's awful hard to do. All right. I would call a roll call, but I'm seeing Ginny and Bob and Gil. And let's see. Oh, Phoebe. Oh, and there's our flag.
I'm here too, David. Lori Rotella from Naugatuck.
Oh, Lori.
I'm here too, Dave. Gino from Derby.
Gino. All right. Let me go through the roll call if I can. Do we have anybody representing Ansonia this evening? And anybody from Beacon Falls? And Bethlehem? I'm representing Bristol. Gil is representing Cheshire.
Prospect.
I'm sorry?
Prospect?
Prospect.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, okay. I've got Gilbert Linder for Cheshire. He's not here. Gino is here.
Here.
Yeah. Middlebury, do we have Curtis? No?
Looks like he's connecting right now.
Okay. We'll give him credit for being here then. And Lori from Naugatuck is here. And Oxford, we don't have a representative. Plymouth, we have Margus. I don't see Margus.
Margus he called me at the end of the day. He's got an unfortunate personal matter, so he's not going to be able to join us, but he sends his regards.
Very good. Thank you. And we got Gil for Prospect. Got it now. And Seymour. I think it's Peter Hughes that's going to be the representative. And Shelton, Ginny.
Mm-hmm.
Ginny. And Southbury, Kim. Hi, Kim. And I know Thomaston Stacy said she is not going to attend this evening. Waterbury, we have Bob. Watertown, Dan DeVito. Hi, Kurt. I just saw you. And Woodbury, Bob Clark. So, hey, the good news is we do have a quorum. So, thank you very much. The next item on our agenda would be normally public comment. I'm not sure that we have anybody online from the public. Hearing nothing, we'll move on. We next have the adoption of minutes. We have the June 6th minutes and the October 3rd minutes. So the first thing I will do is entertain a motion to accept the June 6th minutes. Do we have a motion? Don't be bashful.
I'll make that motion. Bob from Waterbury.
Okay, Bob, thank you very much. And do we have a second?
Second, Gino from Derby.
All right. Thank you, Gino.
You're welcome.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is there anybody opposed? Okay, the motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to note for the record, I'm abstaining as I was not at the meeting.
Yes, we're not doing a roll call vote here, so.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll record that you have abstained. Now we have the October 3rd minutes. Again, a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. And second on that?
I'll second. Kim McNeil.
Okay, Kim, thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Is there anybody that is abstaining? Okay, good. We're moving right along. Next item on our agenda is the retroactive referrals reports. And I'm not sure who's going to be handling that.
That will be Emily, Mr. Chairman.
Emily? Okay, thank you. You're on, Emily.
So real quick, hello everyone. For those who I'm meeting now or it's been a while, you probably see my emails coming in just to remind you. I'm Emily Ritchie, Community Planner at NVCOG. I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. So as you see in your agendas, we have 2 retroactive referral reports included in the packet. So these retroactive referral reports were created to complete the history of the referral reports that we have since NVCOG began the process in December 2021. And within there, we also have the current referrals report for this meeting in your packet. Mm-hmm. So that's what we're referring to, the retroactive referral reports.
Thank you very much, Emily. Anything else? Anything else to add to this?
We can accept any questions if anyone has any about the referral report or any of the retroactive reports.
Okay. Are there any questions? Any comments? Okay. Next, we have correspondence. Savannah Nicole, I don't know if we have any correspondence.
We do not at this time, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. The next thing would be the Regional Planning Commission discussion. And this is something that we are going to continue from our last meeting. And just to make sure that everybody is somewhat up to date, I'll say that Jack DeLavera gave a very detailed history of the regional planning. He had a PowerPoint presentation that I thought was awesome. And then we had Savannah Nicole, who reported the responsibilities of the RPC, and that took quite a bit of discussion. There were a lot of good questions that were brought up. Nicole, I'm going to ask you, what would you like us to be talking about as a continuation?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chair. And so I'll start with a quick comment, and then we'll move slides, and I'll tell Emily when we're ready to do so. But again, we just want to reiterate that we appreciated the conversation that we had in the last meeting. The most important thing for our staff is that we make sure whatever we provide to you as commissioners or you as land use staff, but really just decision makers, implementers, and enforcers of land use in our region, is that what you get out of this time really brings value to you. And so with that being said, we had a bunch of conversations over the last 2 months, and we thank you again, Mr. Chairman and commissioners, for keeping the meeting open, or this conversation open. We were able to go to the drawing board and even talk in some communities. So Emily, if you don't mind changing the slide, that'd be greatly appreciated. I think you'll have to do it twice. Perfect. Okay, so one thing that came to us is, as you'll see in the work that I do, and as I go to your communities, I'm very much of a who, what, when, where, why person. I really like to get down to the nuts and bolts of what we're trying to do, what we're trying to achieve. We don't want to waste, I keep saying it, but it's really important to us. We don't want to waste anybody's time. And so in conversations between NVCOG staff and the community planning team, we really see the questions, the roles, the abilities between a commissioner and a land use staff as different. And so in that, we think that it would be best if our recommendation for the Regional Planning Commission, and we will take any decision that is made, is that we don't think that this is necessarily the best model to continue moving forward with. We think that a model that has specific events and programming for land use commissioners and a model that has specific events and programming for land use staff is going to be the most effective for us and for the direction we think that the organization is moving in. And so, as we talked about last time, you gave us the opportunity to kind of go to the drawing board, see what we'd come up with. And so this is what we have. And I just want to talk through the two different sides of it. And so for us, we really see land use commissioners. You guys are the land use policy leaders. You are adopting plans of conservation and development. You are making zoning decisions. In instances in which you're a planning and zoning commission, you're doing both. And so for us, we really see you as ground truthers. So we want to be able, in our side of the relationship of what we're hoping to have from a relationship with a land use commission, is that after we've done the hard work, after we've looked at data, we've imagined trends, we've understood the local level context, we want to come to you with concrete questions. There'll be instances in which we probably still will ask you, hey, how do you feel about this? We'll temperature check you. We'll see what you're interested in learning about. But we don't want to make you have to continue to come multiple times a year to a meeting in which we don't always have a quorum. We've struggled with that for many, many years. And maybe in instances in which we really took some of the comments Commissioner Harger had to heart, in which maybe having not sub-region, but to do different things in different areas throughout the region to pull commissioners who may not have been as involved in other ways could be a really good model. And so what we're proposing is we'd like to do three kind of main things. The first two go together, which is around 1 to 2 events yearly. We're actually speaking to one of our communities, and if anyone's interested in this, please let us know. We're calling it Pizza and Planning. I kept saying it in the last, meeting, but I'm someone that likes to break bread. I like to have a conversation over a good slice of za. I want to have a little soft drink. I want to chat about what's going on. Food is the way to my heart. And so we're hoping to partner with communities throughout the region, whether it be at your local library, whether it be at your city hall chamber, whether it be at a place that we think could hold a larger group, to either do an hour of training on a topic that commission would like to initiate or is very much interested in, or if we survey the whole region for commissioners, because we're still going to interact with you via correspondence, and I hope to see that increase. That's a goal for community planning. But we would like to do we're thinking of like a pizza and planning model in which we do an hour of training. We have 15, 20 minutes for NVCOG to ask you targeted questions about whatever we're working on or to highlight something. But we want to still offer the space. We really like the roundtable model. And so we want the host community to be able to talk about a project or highlight something that's going very well for them. We'll do some training, we'll have some pizza, and then there'll be time to network. I just want to highlight, I thought Molly did a wonderful job during our Commissioner Land Use training with her braggy breakfast idea. So we'll try to prompt you on ways to engage with commissioners at these sorts of events. But we want to hold it in Cheshire. We want to hold it in Southbury. We want to come to Bristol. We want to come down to Shelton. We want to hold them throughout the region so that maybe people who do feel Waterbury is a far drive or isn't super close, that we can touch upon throughout time. And then, so in that, we really like the idea of the municipal tour. So I have a little note to myself. So Commissioner Harger, be ready when the weather gets better, when I tell you we've got the bus, we just need the date. Yeah. But we want to do those sorts of things. And we think that going into the community, seeing the projects that are going on, having less events, but more high quality events will be a better draw for commissioners. Same thing for staff. So those are kind of where we are on ideas, but we'll still hold our full land use commissioner training every 4 years. The statute changed now, so it's every 4 years or term, whichever's longer, but we still want to do every 4 years for those commissioners who do have shorter timeframes. But we're thinking pizza and planning will make it so ideally we'll have 2 hours of training every year so that we're not in the situation that unfortunately the legislature kind of put us in, where everyone had to hurry in the end. And we want to offer opportunities that meet people where they are and are focused in on what you're interested in throughout the span of the time frame. So that's kind of what we're proposing for events or getting out into the community. But this does not negate the fact that we love coming to commission meetings. And so we've gone to planning commissions to talk about housing needs assessments. We've gone to zoning commissions to talk about outdoor dining. We're going to a zoning board of appeals in January, February to assist with training. We're interacting with a lot of your staff to find out what they're interested in or what they think that the commissions are interested in. You can always, and I think that I'm going to send a letter. I'll work with Rick to write a letter that reiterates these points for commission correspondence across our board. So across planning and zoning, and the Wetland Zoning Board of Appeals. I want everyone to know, not just the land use staff, that if there's something you'd like us to come present on, all you have to do is call. Whether you want your staff to call or whether you want to call, we serve you all. And so we're looking at pizza and planning, in-person funky trainings for commissioners. We'll do the land use training every 4 years, and we want to be here as a resource. So there'll be some years where maybe a community invites us in more than others, but we always will be here. And that's part of the reason also why community planning is now for people instead of what we had previously been. We're very lucky. We have a very committed team that loves to come out. We're very happy and we're jazzed about planning. So I hope that we will be compelling to your commissioners. And so we've got those. And then at the bottom, I just have share updates via correspondence as applicable. So we can reach out more. We can send quarterly updates to commissions. We can do these sorts of things to let you know the things that we're working on. We can send open offers to come. Even if I send a letter yearly, I know that a lot of you are institutional, but we do get new commissioners sometimes. So we just want to reiterate and reestablish the relationship we have not only with your staff, but also with you and your commissions. So that's really what we see for commissioners who are the decision makers. For land use staff, though, we do see it different. Or let me stop there. Do any of the commissioners have any comments, questions? Then I'll do land use staff. You all know I could talk forever, so I'm going to zip it up.
Does anybody have any questions for Savannah Nicole or any comments?
Well, this is Bob. I would start by saying I like some of these ideas. I like the land use commissioner training. I think maybe next time around you might want to consider a different venue. At least at the Waterbury location, there were acoustic issues, but the tape sounded great. But very difficult in person to listen. But I think that was a tremendously helpful training session, obviously mandated. The offer to attend commission meetings to provide advice on certain topics, I think is great. I see the COG as just an additional resource that makes for better decision making at day's end. So that sounds phenomenal. In-person pizza. I mean, how can you object to that? That's I like some of these ideas, I guess, and I'll let others speak.
Thank you, Bob. And I agree 100%.
Can I ask a question, Mr. Chairman?
Oh, sure, Ginny.
I was just wondering if Savannah knew if there was any upcoming land use training classes that NVCOG was going to be sponsoring.
So, Mr. Chair, we
Yes.
aren't sponsoring any, and we don't anticipate in sponsoring any before the year ends. However, I just want to say, Bob, we really appreciate, or Commissioner Nerney, we really appreciate you saying that. It took me 9 months to plan that land use training. I worked really hard to get state partners, and I think I'm biased. I'm always going to say we're the best, but we worked really hard to get the state partners, to get we wanted to hear it from the horse's mouth. And we always want to do those quality sorts of things. And so to Commissioner Harger's question, we're hoping to do the first pizza and planning within the first quarter of 2023, regardless if RPC continues or doesn't continue. It's the commission's decision. But we have a community that we're talking with who is willing to host us. And so we're trying to finalize that at the end of 2022 or 23. Where is time going? So that we can announce it in early 2024. But if Shelton is interested, it takes time to plan these things. So we're always more than happy to start planning early. But we have spoken with OPM, and if any community has any commissioners who are still haven't been unable to meet their training requirement, it's really, OPM is being very deferential to municipalities about the training, in the sense that it's going to be up to your legislative body, or you as a commission and you as your land use staff, about what you're comfortable with. So all of our trainings are entirely online. If you are a commissioner and you want to encourage your fellow commissioners to watch, or you're a land use staff person and you want to send out our trainings, it's a local level decision if you're comfortable with an honor system. But the state isn't against that, at least in this iteration. There's nothing in the statute that is precluding an honor system in this round of training.
So are the trainings that you've had on recorded?
Yes. And
and
we can share the link again if that would be beneficial. But both are fully recorded. We know we were persnickety about the in-person requirement, but we wanted to make sure we were totally crossed our I's, dotted our T's for our first time around, but we recorded for those who couldn't.
So there's 2 that are available?
2 full 8 hours, so 8 hours total of all different things.
Good.
That was our goal.
I have to chase after somebody. So
yes, and it's
very
state
good.
partners. Yes, perfect.
And Savannah, while I have the floor, just definitely we're going to chat about coming down to Shelton. I'm already in my back of my mind thinking what the route to take to get through all the town.
We're excited. We have someone on the community planning team lives in Shelton, so we've got lots of Shelton pride here.
Oh, okay, yes. Very
Savannah,
good.
Excuse me, Savannah, will you reach out to the commissioners on the RPC and let them know about these training sessions that you're talking about?
Sure, we can send an email to everybody in our follow-up.
That would be wonderful.
Of course.
Going to be my question, Mr. Chair.
Yes, go right ahead.
No, I'll wait till Savannah sends the email on where to find that land use training.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. Savannah, anything else?
It's okay to move on to the land use staff side, but
yes.
We'll move in that direction. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
And so again, we see both of you are important in the ecosystem of decision making. Land use policy leaders have a very different hat than the implementers, but you need both. That's what allows our land use system to function. And so we would be remiss if we didn't acknowledge that we have some land use staff on our commission, but they're the implementation experts. U.S. commissioners set zoning regulations, you set plans of conservation and development, but you have staff, most of you do have full-time staff. You have wonderful full-time staff as well. I just will highlight Jordan's wonderful, Kim. We love Bob. We love working with Lori. We love working with Kurt and Gil is an engineer, but we all work together. And so we can speak to this, that your land use staff spend their day in and day out enforcing, helping community members as they come to you. And so their hat kind of looks a little different. So we'd like to bring land use staff together to ensure that our proposed policies are implementable on the local level and align across departments. Because there are many instances, and I can say this as a planner who's been on the municipal side and the regional side, it's a lot easier to think about the values that we'd like to see in the region than it is to set the zoning regulation or to adopt something. And so we never want to propose policies that aren't actually implementable. And we really think that the land use staff are the people that we can really make sure that we're heading in the right direction in. That's not to say we won't bring these sorts of things before commissions as well, or we won't ask for commissioners' input. That might be what I spend my 15 minutes during pizza and planning talking about. But we think that working with the implementers, working with your land use staff, we can come with really strong proposals that align with whatever comprehensive values we're putting forth. We also see land use staff as intermediaries to sharing preliminary information as relevant. And we want to provide technical assistance to your land use staff as well. And one thing that's important to me, and the land use staff in the room that are here know this, is that for us, our main purpose is to help inform decision-making. So if you want us to come, we're going to come. But we also really love helping support your land use staff so that they have the information they need. It's not for us just about getting in front of a commission. That's not what it's about. It's supporting your commission, your community as you need it. So like I'll say, planner in Waterland might say, SN, we really want to learn about accessory dwelling units, but I want to present on it. We will gladly share any resources that we have. We will gladly meet with that land use staff person. If they want us there, we'll be there. If they don't, it's just about making sure that there's informed decision-making in our region. And so we're building those relationships. So when we do come to a community, and Commissioner Rotella's unfortunately not feeling well, so that's why she's not on the camera, but we meet first. We talk first. When I go as NVCOG, I'm going as NVCOG in partnership with the Naugatuck Land Use Department. That's my favorite way for work to happen. I think that we need to work in concert with your full-time staff so that we can be sure that we're all heading in the same direction and that we're really getting at what Bristol needs or what Waterbury needs or what Southbury needs. That's the heart of what we do. And so we also help those sometimes on grants or little bits of studies or things of that nature, which usually your land use staff are involved in. And then the final piece we have here is for the land use staff is we think that while there is overlap between what land use commissioners are interested in for training and what land use staff are, there's some instances in which land use staff are looking for very specific guidance or support. And one thing that we're hoping to do that one of our planners brought up in conversation was that they'd love to see professional development opportunities that align for us as practitioners. And so if we can get AICP credit, Commissioner Bosco serves on Casio, so he could see that I have this here. So this is my warning that I'm going to call you to figure out how we can get continuing education credits and partner with Casio. But that's our goal for the future is we want when land use staff take time out of their day to come to an NVCOG training or we have something of that nature, they're confident that they're going to get education out of it. They're going to continue to advance their professional development. And that helps you as well when your land use staff say, hey, I'm going to be out of the office for 2 hours today. I'm going to go to NVCOG for a training for something. You'll trust and you'll understand that we're really looking holistically at the ways to ensure that everybody has the best information they possibly can to do the work we do and do it well for the communities we serve and advance the goals we have for each of us and for all of us as a region.
I am very impressed. Anybody have any questions they would like to ask Savannah Nicole, or any comments?
Keep up the good work, Savannah.
Absolutely. We do appreciate you very much.
Mr. Chairman, if I
Yes.
may,
Yes.
I just wanted to add, I'm putting the link into the chat with the land use trainings on our website, and then of course we'll follow up in email form as you requested, but I thought it would be convenient to share this way too.
Very good. Thank you very much. All right. Let's see, what do we have anybody else that I think I already asked would like to make a comment, or no?
I have a quick question, Mr. Chairman. Savannah, yes. Does that mean you'll be in Portland at the Casio meeting tomorrow?
Get my emails for Casio. So I gotta call you. I owe you a coffee. I owe you a bagel. I'm not gonna let you go when I can get together with you. But no, so I gotta figure that out.
It's worth 4 credits.
I am an administrative zoning technician, so I do have to make sure that I maintain my certification.
Very good. I think I saw a slide come up that
Mr. Chair, I think Gil had Commissioner Gretel.
I have a quick question, if I may. I believe you have a class coming up on solar energy. I think it's Friday. Is it this Friday or next Friday?
If you bear with me for one moment.
With the state building inspector?
Yes, that is going to be on the 8th. So that is this Friday from 10 to 11:30 a.m. And we can share the link to that as well.
Yep, I have it. I just want to make sure that everybody heard about that. So if they need some class time and some good information on solar, that the state building inspector will be handling that. That'll be good.
You'll be forwarding that? Oh, no, I just got it. Thank you.
Okay, so would you reiterate the place and time again?
Sure. So the event is going to be virtual via Zoom from 10 to 11:30. We have 3 presenters: Jeffrey Cook from the National Renewable Energy Lab, Centec ACAR, National Renewable Energy Lab, and then Omaris Vasquez, the CT State Building Inspector. It's targeted for building officials, but I do agree with Commissioner Gaviline that it could be beneficial across the board. And if you are unable to attend, we always put our trainings on our YouTube. So when we follow up, we can be sure to reshare our YouTube link so that it's a great place just to look ever so often. We're now larger, so we do put a lot of trainings out at a higher frequency than we used to.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
And I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, my name is Desmond Blanchard, and I'm off camera because of my ankle, but it has to be elevated. But I just wanted to follow up on that and say that this has attracted far much more attention than we would have expected. We have over 130 people from all over the state participating. So strongly encourage our, land use planners, our commissioners, our engineers to participate as well. We welcome you, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be really insightful.
Thank you very much. What else do we have, Nicole? Savannah Nicole.
We have one more comment on our RPC discussion. And again, I hope that this just shows everyone that we do listen. And even if the decision of the commission is to not continue in this way, you have my number. I'm all over the NVCOG website. You could call me at any point, and you could call any of us, and we'd come bring coffee and chat. So please know that we listen. And so Emily is going to show you guys what we've been working on. And it's been related to, again, Commissioner Harger. We really wanted to be sure that as we work on the land use referral process, especially if the RPC is no longer a model that we work within, that the referrals are live and they're at least able to be reviewed in some capacity on our page. So we're not done with what we have here yet, and we're always welcome for suggestions. But Mr. Chairman, if I may, Emily has a short little, she's going to show you what we've made.
Thank you very much, Emily. It's all yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So as Savannah Nicole has said, we are working on a new webpage that is now live. So this new webpage is just referrals. It's dedicated to that on our website. So let me just click here. It'll go to it. Can everyone see the webpage that popped up?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. All right. Amazing.
You
so
gotta reshare, Emily.
Oh,
we're still on the. You guys will see our communications team did a wonderful job. The little submit is interactive.
Is this now on everyone's screens?
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. So this is our brand new referrals page on the NVCOG website. It is live now. And so this will house all past, current, and future referral reports for land use staff and commissioners to access. And scrolling down here, we'll see the first part where to address the referrals to. And then down here below is the 3 different referrals that we received at NVCOG, at their zoning, subdivision, POCDs. And those also give a bit of information outlining, how the process and how to submit to us. And on our very last tab here is all the referral reports up to date, and we will be continuing to update it with each new report that we get. And so,
very good.
Is there any questions up to this point? We'd love to answer them.
Any questions, please?
I love links. I'm always when someone tells me something in land use, I say, show it to me in the statute. So we've hyperlinked the sections of the statute. All our reports are here. We're probably going to do them on a quarterly basis. Each community will still get the referrals that come to them. Again, no decision has been made about the RPC as of 7/07. So it's really up to you guys. We'll still continue to send them until any decisions are made. But they'll live here. And we actually have been looking at some of our sister organizations, not in the state of Connecticut, but outside. And some do some pretty interesting reporting on their referrals. They look at them in a little more depth, see the nature of them, report trends and things of that nature. And so that's something that we're hoping to initiate in 2024 as well.
Okay. Anybody? Any questions? Any comments?
I think it's a great idea to have these available online. Thank you very much. Absolutely.
And the fact that you have hyperlinks, I think it's the way now. I'm going to jump the gun a little bit. One of the things that I was going to talk about in our roundtable is that we're looking at a rewrite of our zoning regulations to be adopted in February. And we have a zoning regulation that will be full of hyperlinks, which will make it very easy for commissioners as well as the general public to get the information that they need. So I'm a big fan. Any other questions or comments?
You mean your regulations will be online with these hyperlinks?
They will be, yes.
Okay. Interesting. Nice concept.
Oh, look, I'm telling you, it's a work of art. We've been working at it for a long time. We've gotten a lot of very professional, good professional help in doing it. I could not imagine the amount of work that would have to go in rewriting zoning regulations and making sure that we're updating and explaining things better, adding language to the zoning regulation that had been missing. It's been a it's been a long process. So, do we have anything else? I think the next item we have is our roundtable. So I started it. Let me just finish. I just have a brief thing to say. I've already talked to you about the rewrite that we have in Bristol. The next thing I wanted to tell you about is we have a request, and it's in the form of a referral to identify unified residential developments in the BT zone. And basically what we're looking at is allowing adjacent properties to combine in order to develop housing that may not fit in a single lot. And it's a little contentious right now because the lawyers that are presenting this want to open up the entire zone, the BT zone, for unified residential development. And I'm not sure that that's going to fly. I think what we would rather have is targeted unified residential developments within the BT zone. It's on the agenda for this next week at our regular zoning meeting, and so I'll report back how that came out. That's all I really had. So we'll give everybody else an opportunity to let us know what's happening in your community. I'm just going to get down through the list. Curtis, you have anything you would like to talk about?
Well, we have, I would say we're going to have a full slate, probably the busiest zoning commission meeting this Thursday in my 16-year history.
Wow.
We still have the what's been called the distribution center. I guess it's called warehousing now. 3 applications. We have another new concept, luxury apartments on the other side of town, on the border of Waterbury along Straits Turnpike. That's getting mixed reviews. I'm really surprised at how well it's been accepted. I thought it was going to be a dead issue. Absolutely not. But luxury apartments has become a very new thing, a very vibrant new thing throughout the state. Quite surprised. And we have some re-subdivisions, but I'll report back on the luxury apartment concept as it unravels, whatever.
Thank you. Anything else?
That is it. Thank you for all your hard work, Nicole, Savannah.
We all second that. Gino, what's going on in Derby?
Yeah, Mr. Chair. We didn't have a meeting last month, planning and zoning. There were no new applications, but obviously 34 is switched over to the northbound side. The work's being done on the northbound side. They opened up the southbound side and switched traffic, and the new fuel cell in Derby just went online. I believe it was last week or maybe the week before now. So it's a little slow on the application side on planning and zoning, but we'll meet on the next week and see if there's anything else on the agenda. But the projects that we talked about before are all moving forward. The water tower is complete. I'm not sure if they filled it and went through the testing yet and all that, but I know that the site work was completed and the site looks really good there. And that's about it in Derby.
Thank you. Gino,
Yes.
the 34 work, how long has that been going on?
It started a little over a year ago now. Probably.
Okay,
I think April will be 2 years.
And it's scheduled to be completed when?
So They're saying the fall of 24, but I think it might be changed to the spring of 25, depending on what they hit on the northbound side, because it was a cut and fill. So on the southbound side, it was just all fill and installing utilities and whatnot. Now they got to dig through all the ancient stuff, so we'll see where it goes. But I think it's projected for the fall of 24. But
that would be good for you. Yeah.
Yes, it will.
Quite a mess when they start that work, I'll tell you.
Yeah, and it's going to open up a lot of property too on the southbound side. So south side of Main Street. So we're going to have a lot of development coming up through the center of town, in the next couple of years, I would say.
Thank you very much. Anything else?
No, that's it from Derby. I just want to say one last thing. Just Merry Christmas to everybody. If hopefully we'll see everyone in the new year.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I know Lori is not feeling well. Does Lori want to contribute to the roundtable?
Well, so right now we're just finishing up our plan of conservation and development. We have our public hearing this coming Monday, and hopefully we will open it, take any comments if there's any, close it, and adopt it. So I'm excited about that.
You're ahead of them.
Yeah, well, ours is due right now, so we had to really work hard with a lot of help from a lot of great people. One of them being Savannah Nicole. She was a great help, as well as Emily. They came to visit us last week, I think it was. So I'm excited about getting this done. We have go ahead.
I was going to say, it's wonderful that our NVCOG people are able to help us so much.
I'm excited about all the new changes if they go through. I think it's wonderful.
Very good.
Like we have somewhere to go now, somewhere to help and keep us up on all the public acts. I like that.
Thank you, Lori. Anything else?
That's it for tonight. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry at all. Thank you. Gil, for Prospect.
Okay, from Prospect. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
It's hard to tell. Okay. The Prospect Planning and Zoning, we're going to be working on some gas station separations, distances. I don't know why, but some of our members want to. And I know we have some new regulations for state daycare. Rather confusing. I think they're not leaving it up to anybody's town to regulate that. Do we have Savannah? You have some information on that? I hope for the new daycare regulations, they're upping everything.
Yes. So we sent an email to Mary. We can send the information. Phoebe, we sent a memo to chief elected officials and land use staff that kind of followed what we had in our land use brief, but we can follow up again specifically with the Regional Planning Commission. I can have Phoebe resend the email to the Regional Planning Commissioners, and we'll attach our land use brief to it where it talked about the specific changes as they related to that section of the statute.
Okay, thank you. And did anybody, there's nobody from Cheshire, huh?
No, we don't.
The Cheshire with the Chespercott, did they approve that last night, or which direction they going? Or that affects a few towns, so. But okay, if nobody's aware, then we'll find out later. And Prospect's doing our plan of conservation and development, just as a lot of us are. So we're working on that, trying to put a few things together with some statistics. So, and then I did mention the solar program. Okay, no, that's about it for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Gil.
Oh, Curtis, good luck with your luxury apartments. I think that's a great idea on the Waterbury side. That'll drag some information down into Bob Nerney's area. So that'll be great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ginny.
Okay. Well, on result of the elections in Shelton, on the Planning and Zoning Commission, There are no changes except for our 2 alternates. One gentleman decided to run for a position in town, but he was not elected to that. And the other commissioner had decided to leave. So we have 2 new alternate commissioners. Fountain Square is coming along. Chick-fil-A opened October 26th, as well as a liquor store. Panera Bread and Metro Mattress had already been open for some time. People will, if you go on social media, I'm sure you might have seen some comments about the traffic and the line and everything. But there were, I think things have eased out now. Plus, the queue is a little bit different. There was a huge retail building in the back that the paving had not been completed due to some site work, but now it is. So the queue goes around the back of that building and then comes down on the other side, and that's where it meets the 2-lane entrances for drive-throughs. But I think people are starting now to understand it's probably better to park the car and get out and go in and order. But other things that are scheduled to open, a liquor store also opened up the same week as Panera Bread. But we have a hair salon, a spa, a exercise facility, an eye doctor, a phone store, Crumble Cookies are all scheduled to open. The Goddard School is going to be on a separate pad on the complex. An Italian restaurant is coming down from Monroe, and Jersey Mike's is expanding. The commission came to a consensus for staff to prepare an unfavorable resolution for the proposed 145 apartment building that was proposed for the complex. That was not part of the original plan development district approval given a number of years ago. There are new owners for the whole complex, and they asked us for a major modification. And after several meetings, we came to consensus and directed staff to prepare the unfavorable resolution. And that won't be heard probably until January. And we've already been notified. The applicant's been, council has been very upfront that he will then file an 830G application, and we'll deal with that when it comes.
Yep.
We did have another condo complex in town had a couple years ago received an approval for 36 units, and they came back to us to expand on additional property that they had for another 28 units, and that's another one that we came to a consensus for an unfavorable resolution. So we'll be voting on that. We did approve on River Road 152 units in 4 buildings, and that was an application that myself and another commissioner voted against. My reasoning was that part of the property fronted on River Road, but it zigzagged back to the rear street, which is Quorum Road, and I did not want to lose the commercial designation of the property along River Road. I stated several times when this came up that I had no problem with residential, half of it being on the backside and entered onto Quorum Road, because that is what that neighborhood has. But the other commissioners didn't agree. So I hope that doesn't come back to haunt us. We will have there's in our corporate park area up off of Commerce Drive, California Closets had been renting a facility there for a number of years, and all of a sudden we got an application for a new tenant who wants to relocate from Stanford to use the facility for a wholesale business and supply facility having to do with prepared foods, something to the effect of there are farms that have a co-op system up in the New England area, and these would be people, the food would come to the facility in Shelton and then put on vans for personal home deliveries. So that is a special exception. So we're going to, and that will be on next week's agenda for discussion. We do have a 19-unit apartment building that's been proposed for a street off of one of the major roads in downtown Shelton. And that particular property right now was the site of a small manufacturing building that had been torn down a number of years ago. And really the part of the foundation still there and some of the back wall because it's against the hill. And this would be a major improvement for that particular site because all that's been used for now is some parking for a landscaping crew or something. So I think that this is definitely would be an improvement. We have had an application come in for a zone change in a residential area off Constitution Boulevard. And so that won't be heard until next year. We did approve an expansion to a light industrial building by 53,000 square feet. It's a company in Shelton that it's a private company. It's been here for a number of years, and I guess they are just doing very well. And they had said that some of the equipment that they manufacture has to do with when you go through screening systems at airports. Then we did have a piece of property off of Constitution Boulevard where a couple of years ago, a person came in and wanted a residential. We denied it. And just this month, we did accept an application for review for a new 40,875 square foot light industrial building for that same site, which we had said right from the get-go, that is what we wanted there. We did not feel that residential was appropriate there. We did approve a 52-unit apartment building on the very south side end of Shelton, where it hits Trumbull and the Nichols area. And we'll be recodifying our zoning regs. That's on the agenda. We also do have on our agenda for next week an item to put us in conformity with the Connecticut Public Act 23-142, which amended several sections of the Connecticut General Statutes having to do with group and family child care homes would be a permitted use, not no longer in residential zones, not as a special exception. And that's about it.
That's quite a bit.
Oh yeah, always.
Thank you, Jenny. Let's see who's next. Kim.
Hi.
Hi.
So we reviewed our regulations regarding the daycare update, and planning reviewed that, so that still has to get approved by zoning. And the economic development director is working with Jordan, our new planning director, for trying to increase the efficiency of commercial applicants through the process. Our 350th anniversary celebration for the entire year is winding down. So we had a gala to benefit our historical society and our as part of the Arts and Culture Subcommittee to the Economic Development Commission. I was very pleased to help participate in a community quilt project that was unveiled at the gala, and we're also finishing up our community cookbook. That is going to be a weirdly empty year next year without all of these other 350th projects. There's still photo displays and another history talk that's going on. There's going to be a time capsule and a commemorative book. If anybody wants to order a $25 book about Southbury, we are having Reads Across America is stopping in Southbury on December 12th at 9 a.m. And we're going to do a little ceremony at our Veterans Memorial Park. And I think that's pretty interesting. This is I think it's one of the first times they've stopped at Southbury. And the Southbury Chamber for Businesses has a lot of stuff going on. They have the Festival of Wreaths on Wednesday night. So that's an opportunity to bid on wreaths that have been decorated by chamber members and others. And they also have a number of lunch and learn type of opportunities with many different focus learning opportunities like marketing your business and cybersecurity and fraud prevention, human resources, and business planning and financing. And we've opened a number of businesses have had ribbon cuttings. So I could keep going because my economic development director is very busy, Kevin Bielmeyer, and he loves to share what he's doing. But I think I'll leave it there. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim, very much. Let's see. Bob Nerney, Waterbury.
Yes. So yeah, we too have been busy. I'm working on the department budget, and one of the things we're going to be putting funding into is our POCD update, which is the current plan is set to sunset in September of 2026. Although the funding has yet to be approved, in the interest of staying ahead of the curve, I'm starting to put together the RFP and with hopes of going out to for solicitation in the months to follow once the budget is in place. You know, I don't know if this holds true in other communities, but we have a number of subdivisions and projects from past years that have the approvals have been extended through the years, and some of those are coming back. And it's kind of interesting. I mean, one in particular off of Highland Avenue is a project that was partially completed. It stalled and basically defunct, but it's coming back. And, you know, I just think it speaks to the robust economy, whether that continues with interest rates climbing. I guess that's yet to be seen, but I think it's encouraging to see some of these developments that up until now have you know been sort of you know unimproved in some cases an eyesore, that they're coming back and being completed. So that's kind of exciting. And then of course, as many of you know, we have a new mayor in Waterbury, and it's the former president of the Board of Aldermen, Paul Peranowski, and we're all excited about that. He very good leader, very intelligent, supports smart growth, economic development. So I think not to speak for others, other departments, but I think generally everybody's just pleased that, you know, we're continuing on the same track in Waterbury. Certainly difficult shoes to fill, but, you know, we're encouraged to see the train moving forward, as they say. So that's really all I have, David.
Okay. Thank you very much, Bob. And good luck with your new mayor. We have an excellent mayor right now who has done an awful lot of positive things for the city of Bristol. So I wish you the best. Last but certainly not least, Bob Clark, Woodbury. Is Bob here? I had him listed here. He's not here. Wow. My error. All right. Next thing on the agenda would be the NVCOG updates. And I'm not sure whether we have any.
Sure, Mr. Chair. I guess our only update is that we just published our NVCOG community planning newsletter. It went out on Monday, and so we can share that with the Regional Planning Commission, and I'll forward you our email. It was difficult to add people for a bit. We were having some technical difficulties because we didn't have like the little system in which you could like sign up for the email. So I can share that so that if people are interested in directly receiving that correspondence. I'm just so proud of the work that happened in our newsletter. For those of you who have seen it or have seen it before, we put a significant amount of work into it. We have a spotlight on Cheshire that's really beautiful that was done by our communications associate. We have a land use brief, which I've shared with you all before. This is our third one. This one was authored by Emily and Molly, in which we looked at the new language for expert reviews. And we got quotes from Bristol's own city planner, Rob Flanagan, and Naugatuck's own zoning enforcement officer, Ed Carter. we have a municipal land use best practice in which Woodbury's planner, Will Agresta, has created a really wonderful variance guide. It's a one-pager that just explains the processes, the commission's reviews. We highlight the 2 events that we have coming up. We have an event on Wednesday that Phoebe has done a wonderful job coordinating. We're preparing for aquifer protection area assistance that Molly's leading. We do an end visualization, which is a cheeky way that we like to show something that our GIS team is working on. So we highlighted our story map about fun things to do in the region. I don't think I'm missing anything. The community planners, if I am, no, we shouted out our training, but that's something that we work on quarterly. And so I think it nexuses into my next point that really now, if it's up to the commission, if they'd like to see the Regional Planning Commission continue, as we've expressed, we're not sure that it's the best model, but even hearing you roundtable, I understand the benefit of coming together in this way. One thing I can offer is in our quarterly newsletter, we can work with you all to, I like fun names. So like, I'm already thinking like, we can make like a cute little fake newspaper designed publication in which we talk with you, commission chairs or RPC or previous RPC representatives, as well as municipal land use staff, to get little blurbs about what has gone on in the last quarter. Just a fun way still to make sure that you get that information if you so choose not to move forward in this model. But it's up to you guys. And so what I have to offer is if ultimately the commission determines that you are interested in seeing how what we're proposing could go, or you are in agreement that maybe we could try a different model. It doesn't end RPC immediately. It would have to go to our board. It's going to have to do a bylaw situation. I might recommend if you support us moving in that direction, that we even hold one more meeting in February where maybe we do get together in person. It's okay if we can't, but you heard me talk about pizza. Maybe we have one meal to see this to its finality. But again, if this isn't the direction you want to go, it really is in your hands. We are here to serve you. You all know I'm jazzed about planning, and I'm very jazzed about this region. So I will either see you here or I'll see you when I'm in your community, or the community planners are in your community supporting you, or just visiting, because we really enjoy the work that we do.
Thank you very much, Savannah. Is this, I know we've kicked this around before about the future of the RPC. Is this something, Savannah Nicole, that you think we should probably put on our next agenda for RPC? A brief discussion on what people see for the future of this?
Mr. Chairman, it's up to you. If you want everyone to sleep on it for 2 months, we're more than happy to come together again in February.
Yeah, I really would like to discuss it again, because obviously we're looking at an RPC that's in flux as far as the future is concerned. And you have said many times, it's basically up to the commissioners. So I do think it's time to talk about it again.
Sure, and we'll come to the next meeting, not with any. I think we've made our case, and I think it's time that we now we'll leave it on the agenda, but we'll just be ready to hear where you guys would like to go.
Very good. Last call. Does anybody have anything that they would like to present to the group before we adjourn? Okay, hearing nothing, I will call the meeting adjourned. And Merry Christmas to everybody, and Happy New Year.
Thank you, everybody.
You as well.
Bye.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Yeah,
Happy
bye,
holidays.
everyone.
Merry
Thank
Christmas.
you.
Take care.